It's cold, so we can't be outside the same way we were for summer and fall, and that goes for your voice as well. Here are some tips on how to protect your voice in the cold weather. For starters, wear the right clothes. Make sure that you are bundling up. Make sure you're wearing long sleeves. Make sure you're wearing long pants. Wear socks. Wear long socks if you need to. Wear closed-toe shoes. Wear boots. Wear scarves. Wear jackets. Wear hats. Wear earmuffs. Wear gloves if you need to. The point being, make sure you are covering up, okay? You don't want to be outside. You don't want to be too cold because these things are going to affect how well your body is going to perform, how well your body can maintain a note. Think of your body as an instrument, right? The body of the instrument literally is going to determine how well sound escapes from it. If your instrument is cold, our instrument, these vocal cords, right? They don't typically like to be cold. They like to be warmed up. Part of helping your body to be warm is to make sure that you're dressing appropriately. In dressing appropriately, I would add that you should cover your nose and cover your throat. Since COVID in the US, it's become more commonplace to see people walking around with masks, but who knew that you didn't need to wear a mask when you were feeling sick, right? You wear a mask to prevent sickness. You can wear a mask to also keep your nose nice and warm. For me personally, if my nose gets cold and turns red, I run the risk of getting a cold. I run the risk of getting a stuffy nose. And of course, that affects how I'm able to sing or if I'm able to sing at all. It also affects the tone of my voice. When my nose is stopped up with too much mucus and it's just hard for me to breathe, I sound very nasally in my songs. When I have a cold, the tone of my voice is different. Or I'm not even able to perform, I'm not able to speak because I'm coughing too much. And the cold air, the dry air, it's irritating my throat. And again, my nose and my throat are not warm. So I would say wear a mask. Also, to keep your throat warm, wear a scarf. Wear turtlenecks, wear sweaters, something that wraps around and literally keeps the actual hardware warm. Again, the entire body is an instrument, and our particular instrument of our voice does so much better when we are warm, when it is warmed up. So doing things like dressing properly, covering up your nose, covering up your throat is going to help your vocal folds to stay warm. Also, make sure that you are continuing to drink plenty of water. I know that as the weather gets colder, it can become a little bit more difficult. It can be less of a motivating factor to drink water, but you still need to make sure that you are staying hydrated. Again, our entire body is an instrument, and the way that we treat our body is going to determine whether or not we can perform properly or we can perform well. Keeping your body hydrated, that keeps your ligaments hydrated, it keeps you supple, it keeps you full, it keeps your vocal cords moist. And when your vocal cords are moist and they are warm, they are more likely to have a easier time of passing air, of passing sound, and you're going to get the sounds and the notes and the pitches that you want versus if your body were cold and it were restricted and it felt like a strain to get out the air. We don't want that. We don't want the body to be stressed out. We don't want the body to be confined and restricted. We want our instrument to be relaxed. Keeping ourselves warm, keeping ourselves hydrated is how we achieve that. If drinking water, even at room temperature, is difficult for you to do during the colder months, during colder seasons, then drink warm fluids. For me, I like to increase how much tea I'm drinking. I do like hot cocoa, but I will limit myself on that because, as some of us may or may not know, your diet, it very much determines how well you sing. If you're doing too many sugary drinks, too much sugary food, that's going to have a negative effect on your vocal cords. So just be careful with those things. But I like to drink warm teas. I like to drink warm broths, soups, those things, those fluids. That's still getting me hydrated, but it's a little more bearable and it's helping to keep me warm again. Drinking those warm fluids is going to keep you hydrated. It's going to keep you warm. It's going to make sure that you are taking stress off of your vocal cords, and that is what we want at the end of the day. And lastly, something that I don't think enough people consider is that when the air is colder, it tends to feel more thin and it tends to feel more dry, right? So I would suggest investing into a humidifier. They're about $20. I got mine from Walmart, and it's the Vicks one where you can actually put Vicks vapor into it. So not only do you get the air being humidified, but you also get that soothing Vicks smell that comes out of it, and it just helps to make sure that your airways don't get clogged up throughout the night and you don't wake up with like a scratchy and dry throat and dry nose and dry nasal passages and dry throat, right? Because again, we are wanting to alleviate the stress from our body and alleviate the stress from our vocal cords. If our vocal cords, if our body is cold and everything is tight when we're cold, that means we're having to strain to get out sound. We're having to strain to get out the proper notes, and we don't want that. This is all in line with keeping the body warm, keeping the body hydrated, and keeping the body relaxed. When we're in a more relaxed state, we are more likely to hit the notes and the pitches that we want to hit and give the performance that we want to give. Thank you for tuning in to Lex Chat. If this helped you, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And in the comments, let me know what topics you want to chat about next. But my name is LexC. Until then, peace.
On the 6th day of Christmas, my baby gave to me liquor in my eggnog with lemon pepper wings. We're 7 days in and he won't let me get no sleep. We've been going in all week. On the 8th day, he put a check into my bank account. Told me run it up on here and now so he could take me out. 9th day coming, pull up in the foreigner, bottle in the dash, chilling just so we could pour it up. 10, he invited all my wretched friends, standing on the furniture, twerking and we turning up.